So I've just come off a 2.5 day dry fast. I'm enjoying these dry fasts now. They seem very beneficial. And what I'm noticing in this is that it's very healing for the kidneys, it's been very healing for the bladder, maybe very healing for the prostate. I just feel it in those areas, in what I call the blue energy circuit, which is the kidneys, adrenals, bladder, urethra, and also helps with the vagina and penis. That's that energy circuit. And I think one of the things that is strongly healing this circuit and these organs while I'm working in dry fasting is that I'm doing holographic breathing. Now, I'll leave a link below so you can learn holographic breathing free of charge if you wish. But there's a very gentle suckling motion in holographic breathing where the lips are closed, the upper surface of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth, and on the in-breath the jaw gently opening, on the out-breath it gently closing, and that integrates with the breath, so it's actually, you're not doing it, the movement of the breath, the muscles of the breath are creating that motion. This whole wave-like motion spreads through the whole body. But as soon as I'm dry fasting, what kicks in with that suckling type motion is that I get this bubbling well of saliva coming up into my mouth. It's a bit there anyway with holographic breathing, but as soon as I go into dry fast, it becomes pronounced and I feel my mouth filling with saliva. And rather than just drinking it down bit by bit, I let it fill, I wash it around my mouth. I've done other videos describing this, so I'm not going to go into the full beneficial effects of that. And then I drink it down. And that's very, very healing for the whole body. It's full of, forgotten the name of it, nitric oxide. And it kills all of the bugs in the mouth. The nitric oxide kills all of the bugs. And not just kills them, it puts markers on them so the immune system looks out for them. When you drink that down, it's like a vaccine. The immune system, we've got to kill this. And then it kills that infection through the whole body. You know, if there's major infections coming in. So very beneficial, as well as prana, everything, drinking it down. But what that is also having an effect on, as soon as I feel this in the mouth, and what I was experimenting with is I'd seen a video of this Indian man who supposedly hadn't eaten or drunk for 20 years, and they took him to a hospital to test if he was telling the truth, and he stayed there for a couple of weeks, I think, and he didn't eat or drink or urinate or pass feces. And they were ultrasounding what was happening. His bladder was filling up, but then it would empty itself and it wouldn't come out as urine. It was like the toxins would stay in the bladder, I guess, and the water would start coming out and be cycled in the body. And that seemed to be what happening with this cycling motion, this connection through the tongue in the mouth, starting this bubbling well here. And at exactly the same time I could feel it relaxing the bladder. And whenever I wanted to urinate, I would just lie down, and I wouldn't force it, I would just be with it for a while or go for a walk, and it would disappear. So I don't really know where the urine was going, but it felt like that. It felt like what I described, that the toxins stayed in it, the pure water was being brought back into the body and circling through the body. This bubbling well in the mouth was relating to the bladder. And afterwards, after this particular dry fast, my bladder felt great, my urinary tract felt great. Now, I don't know if I've got, because I've never had it tested, but I've got something in that area for a long time, and maybe it's just 65, maybe it is an inflamed prostate, or maybe there's just something with the bladder. But whatever it was, with these dry fasts, that's just progressively getting better. And either it's this saliva thing and the urinary tract and bladder finding this new way of working, is healing the bladder and the urinary tract, or also maybe just because you're not drinking water, so the body will take it from inflammation. That inflammation may be being taken out of the prostate. So for anybody with inflammatory type conditions, especially with the prostate, which basically is inflamed, if you go on a dry fast, it will start clearing that extra fluid out of that inflammation. Now, you need to research dry fasting. You need to spend time looking into it, because I'm not a specialist and there isn't actually much information on it. But anyway, so you have to research that for yourself, just listen rather than listening. All right, I'm going to do that. Get everything sorted correctly first. But from holographic breathing, where the saliva glands are in the back of the tongue, this relates to the blue energy circuit. This relates to the kidneys, to the adrenals, to the bladder, all of those organs. And I can feel it healing that, which is good news for me, because I was a bit scared when I first went into dry fasting, because I'd seen the doctor saying, don't do dry fasting because it's bad for your kidneys. So I feel like I'm healing my kidneys with dry fasting. And the only scientific study that was done on dry fasting was with a group of healthy, it's a 5-day dry fast with a group of healthy people, and it gave all of the medical markers of what they had gone through over those 5 days. And one of the interesting ones to me was that renal function was improved substantially through the dry fast and after the dry fast. So when the dry fast came to the end, the renal function was much better, which is the kidneys, basically, that whole area. So anyway, that was my finding on this particular dry fast. Was I watched that primarily, that there was a connection between this bubbling well in the mouth and the bladder. And it seemed that probably everybody has this function, that on a dry fast, kind of automatically, the bladder knows how to keep the toxins in it and release that fluid back into the body. I mean, dry fasting relates to our ancestry, where we may have been a long time without water or food, or we had food but not water, or we had water but not food. So I think it's built into our ability. You know, if someone just dies straight away, they don't have water, you know, how long would the human race last? Only people living next to streams, and if that dried up in the winter, they would also be gone. So it seems to me this quality of dry fasting is connected into our body, that our body knows how to do with it, and it does go into a very particular mode, which I have to say I love. I'm not a fan for myself. It's great, but I'm not a fan of water fasting. Not that I'm not a fan of its effects. I'm not a fan of how I feel when I'm water fasting. I'm kind of hungry, I'm watching for different things. But with a dry fast, where you're just not doing anything, for me, I drop into a spiritual mode, and the whole body goes into this mode where it's all connected inside, and all different geometries and all different systems know how to set up and work to deal with that. And it goes into a healing mode. It goes into a very powerful form of autophagy, where it starts healing all of the different cells, cleaning all of the different cells, any damaged cells or cells that aren't working, kill them off, and it will produce stem cells. It will also kill bacteria, bugs, viruses for food and for water. Any inflammation, it will go after it. If you want to lose weight, far better than water fasting, because the body will burn the fat to get the water out of it. If you really want to lose weight, dry fasting for me is the most powerful way of doing that. But take it easy, get information. I'm not giving you information how to dry fast. I'm giving you information of the effects it's had on me. If you want to learn holographic breathing, there's a link below. There'll also be a video on this picture at the end of this thing. You can press on that and learn holographic breathing. If you want to come to my free webinars, come along. Excuse me, just relaxing. So I just got some energy coming through, actually. So I'll speak with my eyes closed. This channel just came in. Whoa. So please like and subscribe and comment and watch my other videos and come to my webinars. Learn holographic breathing. It's a very, very beneficial thing. I don't know if it's come out on the video, but this lovely, lovely channel has come through, and it feels great. And holographic breathing helps with that. It is a spiritual form of healing. You do open up through the higher energies. You do open up through the Kundalini, and there's all of your channels, your higher self, all of the different things that work with that start coming through and healing you. And there's all the internal functions of holographic breathing, where we work with all of the different organs, where we work with the spine, the Kundalini, we connect with the earth. It's all there. It's all available. Get it while it's ripe. Thank you so much for listening to this video. Okay, bye.